Good afternoon, delegates. I'm Kirk Boyd, and I'm the Executive Director of the 2048 Project here at UC Berkeley. It's a pleasure to talk with you this afternoon, and I'm going to outline for you exactly what the content of this book and this project is about, 2048. First, you'll notice with the year, I'm sure you all know about the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, and that was drafted and adopted in 1948. So as you can tell, this is 100 years later. And the idea is that when they first created the Universal Declaration, they intended to have an international Bill of Rights. That's what they called for. That's what President Truman called for specifically in San Francisco. He called for an international Bill of Rights. That's what they set out to do. Because of the Cold War, the best they could do was a declaration, and that was a huge accomplishment. But today, you are carrying on that process. You are carrying on the steps that they put into place so that all people in all countries have a set of rights that all of us are entitled to and are enforceable in every court of every land. Okay? So that's our starting point. It's a pleasure. Now, to get there, we have to look back in order to look forward. And the way that we're going to look back is in the book. I've got a picture here of Eleanor Roosevelt on the day that they passed the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. It's a historic day in which the document was passed, and here she is holding it up, okay? So that's our starting point for this 100-year turn. And what's important is that you realize that not only did that document get created, but we have a string of documents that have followed. So this isn't just some giant step we're going to take now from that document to an International Bill of Rights. You need to remember that after the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, along came the European Convention of Human Rights. Okay? This is a document that is applying today in the courts of 47 countries. So lawyers like me, who have argued in all courts, including the US Supreme Court, are using this in all courts in 47 countries as a Bill of Rights. It's the best protection for human rights that we have today. It's not that the UN covenants aren't important, they are, but when it comes to actual enforcement, nothing works better than the European Convention. And so what we're looking at together is how to extend beyond that model that works for 47 countries to a model that would work for all 192. And I'm glad that there are many of you from many different countries, because you're bringing to the table that viewpoint, that diversity of values and opinions that are absolutely essential to the creation of an International Bill of Rights. It couldn't be done otherwise. So how are we going to do it? You're going to be given this book, okay? And I really appreciate the fact that this book is being distributed to all of you, because we want your input and we want your participation. Here's how. First of all, in your workshops, you'll be able to go to our website at 2048. If you Google 2048, we come up first, okay? And at that website, you will be able to see the draft of the International Bill of Rights. And most importantly, we are asking you to sign the document, okay? This is not just some kind of abstract process. This is where you're actually thinking as a drafter, reading the document and signing the document. So when you type in your name, it shows up in cursive there, just like you're signing a signature, okay? That's number one. That's the most important thing that you do, and we ask that in exchange. If you have any reservations when you sign, then there's a box below, and you can say, I'm signing, but I don't agree with these portions, okay? And that's what we want, because that's how we will make the document even better, is through your comments. Now, secondly, the other thing that you can do, and this is in even more detail, is on the website, there's the opportunity for you to comment about all the various articles that are in this draft document. And in this way, you aren't just in some kind of an abstract concept. I love the United Nations and the work of the Model UN. I'm the president of the Marin chapter of the United Nations Association, and I have been working with the UNA for a long time. At the same time, one of our weaknesses is that we often are just on the periphery talking about things. We go to a conference like this and then we're gone. This is a continuing document, so the next thing that you can do is you can actually Go to the website. You can comment on free speech. You can comment on education. You can put in events that are taking place in other countries, like in Egypt today, which is directly pertinent. So that way you can have a very direct participatory role, the same as the academics and scholars that are working on this, okay? We're not asking you to just kind of be on the periphery. We want you to be at the center of things, okay? Finally, and this is my reflection about you, okay? And it's not just mine, but I think I am speaking for many people in my generation right now with great pride with your generation. A while back, the last generation they called Generation X, as if it was some kind of amorphous generation that didn't know what it was doing. Well, there's a different generation, your generation, and it's generation rights. What you see in Egypt, what you've seen in a lot of different countries, has been this emergence of a demand, not just a request, because we never have rights without struggle. Never have, never will. It's got to be a demand, and your generation is demanding the rights that are your human rights, that has a matter of inherent entitlement for being a human being. And that's a very powerful thing. And so it's with great honor and privilege that I'm glad to be able to work with you and with Generation Rights. And I look forward to our continued participation together. Thank you very much.